What's up, WWE fans? You're watching Wrestling Edge Files, where every slam and surprise matters. Subscribe now, and let's roll in. Backstage at SmackDown, chaos unfolded as Jon Moxley made a surprise return that instantly electrified the arena. Known for his intensity and unpredictability, Moxley didn't waste a second asserting his presence. As cameras rolled, he stormed the backstage area, eyes locked and expression unyielding, signaling that he was ready to take control. Superstars scrambled to clear his path, reflecting the shock and awe that accompanied his arrival. The confrontation with SmackDown GM Nick Aldis set the tone for what fans immediately understood. Moxley had returned not just as a competitor, but as a force to be reckoned with, ready to reshape the balance of power. His presence promised disruption, tension, and a renewed sense of unpredictability. The shock of the return. Moxley's unexpected appearance backstage instantly shocked both the superstars and fans. SmackDown thrives on suspense and surprise, and his sudden entry created an immediate ripple of tension. Wrestlers who had been focused on their own routines were forced to stop and witness Moxley's dominant presence. The cameras captured every detail, the intensity in his eyes, his deliberate movements, and the palpable tension that filled the air. This kind of return demonstrates the power of presence in wrestling, where one individual can command attention without uttering a word. Moxley's comeback was designed to shock, captivate, and establish dominance before he even spoke, showing the raw magnetism that makes him a standout figure. Walking through backstage. Every step Moxley took backstage reinforced his aura of intensity and control. Superstars instinctively cleared the way, recognizing that his return was more than ceremonial. It was a statement. The silent, locked-in demeanor made it clear that he had a purpose, and that purpose was uncompromising. Wrestling often emphasizes physical storytelling, and Moxley's body language alone told the story of authority, focus, and impending chaos. The arena's crowd felt the tension through the broadcast, reacting to the visual narrative unfolding in real time. His walk was more than movement. It was a symbolic reclamation of territory, showing that he had returned with a singular focus and no tolerance for interference. Face to face with Nick Aldis. The confrontation with SmackDown GM. Nick Aldis was the emotional and narrative climax of Moxley's return. Unlike typical interactions in wrestling, there were no smiles or formalities, just raw, unfiltered tension. Aldis represents authority and order, while Moxley embodies rebellion and defiance. The clash of these contrasting personas created a dramatic moment that immediately captured the audience's attention. Wrestling storytelling thrives on power struggles, and this backstage encounter illustrated that dynamic perfectly. Fans understood that Moxley's return was not merely about his presence, but about challenging the structures and control of the SmackDown hierarchy, creating anticipation for future conflicts and storylines. A message about being ignored. Moxley's words cut straight to the core of his frustrations. He spoke about being ignored, held back, and underestimated, making it clear that he would no longer tolerate limitations imposed by others. Wrestling narratives often explore themes of rebellion and vindication, and Moxley's confrontation embodied both. By directly addressing the issue of being overlooked, he connected with fans who appreciate authenticity and determination. This message wasn't just a warning, it was a declaration of intent. Moxley's candid approach reinforced his persona as a no-nonsense competitor who refuses to be sidelined, giving fans both an emotional and narrative anchor to understand his motivations moving forward. Aldis's attempt at control. As the GM, Nick Aldis attempted to assert authority, likely expecting to calm the situation or negotiate. However, Moxley's unyielding demeanor made it clear that he answers to no one. This defiance set up a classic wrestling dynamic, the unstoppable rebel versus the established authority figure. Aldis's efforts to maintain order highlighted the tension between institutional power and individual rebellion, a theme that resonates throughout wrestling history. The struggle between these two forces created a compelling narrative, keeping fans invested in the unfolding drama. Moxley's refusal to be controlled elevated the stakes and signaled that his return would disrupt the status quo. Dropping a chilling warning. Before leaving the backstage area, Moxley delivered a chilling warning that resonated throughout the locker room. His words were carefully chosen to leave a lasting impression, signaling that SmackDown had now become his territory. Wrestling storytelling often relies on these verbal moments to heighten tension, build anticipation, and foreshadow future confrontations. Moxley's warning wasn't empty bravado. It was a statement of dominance and intent that immediately set the stage for new rivalries. The psychological impact on both superstars and fans was profound, emphasizing that Moxley's return was about more than action in the ring. It was about reshaping the narrative landscape of SmackDown itself, establishing dominance. Moxley's entire appearance reinforced his dominance and unyielding persona. From his entrance to his confrontation with Aldis and his parting warning, every moment conveyed authority, confidence, and unpredictability. Wrestling thrives on characters who command attention and create stakes simply by existing within the story, and Moxley embodies that perfectly. His return serves as a reminder that he is not just a participant, but a central figure capable of shaping the entire SmackDown environment. Fans could sense that future episodes would be influenced by this statement, with Moxley's presence raising the intensity of every match and interaction he is involved in. Chaos unleashed. With Moxley back, SmackDown is poised for a period of uncertainty and disruption. His return immediately injected chaos into the locker room, creating tension among established superstars and authority figures alike. Wrestling thrives on these moments of unpredictability, where the balance of power is challenged and narratives become more complex. The psychological impact on the roster, combined with fan anticipation, ensures that every subsequent episode will carry heightened suspense. Moxley's presence promises storylines that blend intensity, unpredictability, and personal stakes, keeping audiences engaged and invested in the evolving drama. Fan reaction and anticipation. Fans immediately reacted to Moxley's return with a mix of excitement, shock, and speculation. Social media, forums, and live audience reactions reflected the widespread anticipation for what comes next. Wrestling thrives on fan engagement, and Moxley's intense comeback provides fertile ground for discussion and analysis. Fans began speculating about potential matchups, rivalries, and the implications of Moxley's new level of assertiveness. This interaction between performer and audience enhances the viewing experience, as fans feel emotionally invested in the unfolding drama. Moxley's return has reignited conversations, debates, and excitement across the wrestling community, setting up future storylines. Moxley's return immediately lays the groundwork for future storylines. By confronting Aldis, asserting dominance, and issuing a warning, he has established multiple potential narrative directions. Wrestling storytelling relies on layered arcs that can develop over weeks or months, and Moxley's actions provide a rich starting point. Rivalries with authority figures, conflicts with top superstars, and in-ring showdowns are all plausible outcomes. The anticipation created by this return ensures that SmackDown will have a renewed sense of tension and urgency. Moxley's comeback serves as a catalyst, promising that the next chapters of the show will be intense, unpredictable, and deeply engaging. Conclusion: Jon Moxley's SmackDown takeover. Jon Moxley's surprise returns transformed SmackDown backstage into a scene of tension, unpredictability, and raw energy. From his intense walk through the locker room to the confrontation with GM Nick Aldis and the chilling warning he left behind, every moment reinforced his dominant persona. Wrestling thrives on such returns, where a single individual can reshape narratives, challenge authority, and ignite fan excitement. Moxley has clearly made it known that SmackDown is now his territory, setting the stage for new rivalries, intense matches, and unforgettable moments. Fans are left eagerly anticipating what comes next, knowing that chaos and intensity have officially returned to the show.